Tara-ta-tara-ra. Ta-ta-tara-ta-tara.
Neurowave open sensitivity, a method where we can solve a problem in one session that psychologists take years to address.
Reprogram your body like the brain.
Yes. Millionaire bloggers came for manifestation.
What if I don't want to get rid of my blocks because they are a supporting structure?
No need, don't keep them.
How else can you work with money through body practices?
The body starts to vibrate at a specific source of money. I came to open my sensitivity. I want to experience orgasms. The tool is one, Neurawave.
Are there any favorite client stories?
The breast grew.
Even the breast grew.
Yes.
In the universe, there is a space of multiple possibilities. What you consider yourself to be is surfing through realities. Hello, my dear listeners. By the way, there are almost 40,000 of you now, so if you happen to come across this video and you're not subscribed, you know what to do. It's not that difficult, but it's very important because this channel has the most interesting podcasts with esotericists, psychologists, and helping profession specialists. And today I have as my guest O, a body therapist and creator of the Neurowave method, Vadim Borisov. Vadim, hello.
Hello. Thank you, Marina, for inviting me. I'm pleased to be in your space and to tell everyone about my journey and what I'm doing now to introduce my tool.
Yes, well, in principle, I roughly understand what Neurowave is. Well, I myself have been to these kinetic practices, and now we'll insert a clip here to show what it looks like. This is when, in group trainings, women mostly move interestingly, orgasm, and thus get rid of bodily blocks in this way. So please tell us, besides the fact that these are interesting sensations, what can this be useful for? Why should people try this method?
The Neurowave opens up sensitivity. And when it reaches a high level, when certain blocks and limitations in the body are removed, which are like certain fears, people end up feeling more. And when they reach the very peak of pleasure, it results in a kind of orgasmic state. That's why the body vibrates. Shakes like this, yes. Some show pleasure on their faces, and it feels like some kind of magic is really happening.
But besides the magic happening, many in the comments write that some kind of evil is occurring, that it's some kind of devilry, or that what's happening is not very esoterically pure. How can you comment on this?
Indeed, well, we all perceive such an image and don't understand what's behind it. These are just short clips and emotions. And what do we get? Many of us have had our emotions blocked. And when we see other people, when they vividly express their feelings, not only joy, but also accordingly their experiences, they scream, they cry, right? That is because the block is released. It comes out with emotions, and it seems dangerous, as if they are exercising a demon. Mm-hmm. In reality, the person is experiencing this feeling themselves. What he didn't experience in childhood, it turns out, yes, what his energy field, his energy body didn't allow him to express, it got sealed in the body, yes, and I am essentially giving him permission that now the environment is safe, nothing is threatening, you can simply express yourself. And finally, the person can cry.
Can this perhaps be compared to going to the forest to scream?
When we do it in the forest, we do it with our consciousness. We give ourselves the instruction, okay, I'm going to the forest. Now I'm straining my vocal cords. Okay, surely no one will hear me. Everything is calm. I allow myself, well, let's see how I will scream. A kind of controller steps in. On one hand, this is good, but it won't fully release the block because blocks are at the subconscious level when we don't control our emotions with our mind. And at this moment, a guide is needed, which is what I am during the practices.
So you allow them to delve deeper into the subconscious and extract the blocks from where they truly reside, so to speak?
Exactly right. The person goes there themselves. I simply provide the opportunity then to go there using my tool, the Neurowave, inside themselves, right? That is finally being in the body and uncovering what has long been painful, for example, in the chest, like unrequited love, yes, or for instance, the loss of a loved one, and so on, any such moments. The person themselves finds and reveals this opportunity to free themselves.
And what is the advantage of this method over regular therapy? Why not go to a psychologist and talk through this pain of loss? You've lost a loved one, and through conversations, bring out these feelings. What is the advantage of acting through the body?
This is, in any case, a method where we can solve a problem in one session, essentially, in 2 hours, that psychologists take years to resolve, because we don't look for cause and effect relationships in the mind, which is good, and we don't delve into this long hypnotic state of a person's subconscious, but instead we immediately enter it through the body, because everything is in the body. I simply provide the opportunity to instantly transition into the body and open up. That's the whole feature. Not through consciousness, but directly straight into the subconscious.
But how does this happen technically?
Technically through impulses. And why is it called a neurowave? Because we are essentially creating new neural connections in the body. It was also surprising to me at one time that neurons are not only in the head, but also in the body. In fact, the body has its own brain, which somehow lives separately from the head. All this technique is about connecting the head of consciousness with the body, because we often go different ways. And where is this very level of correctness, how to find it? And this neurowave, it actually provides, through impulses, through physical touch, the attention to a person that usually goes through the eyes to the external environment, but we switch it inward. We turn into ourselves. That very treasure, we have nothing better than ourselves, than how we are created. Therefore, we can discover that very secret, what, and the body immediately reacts. Did someone really pay attention to me? Wow, awesome. Can I now show you what I've been storing there for years? And it immediately starts to reflect, begins to show some body movement, vibrations, yes, and naturally emotions start to come out.
As a specialist, can you, by looking at a person, already understand what blocks they have, what they have approximately experienced? There are clearly some clamps that are immediately noticeable.
Yes, when someone doesn't come to my training, they have a block.
Why?
Because
maybe they've worked it.
They want to, but can't allow themselves to. They have some kind of limitation. Like, for example, the idea that someone will touch their body, or perhaps a prohibition on self-expression. They can't express themselves. Some can't. Orgasm, some can't cry, and so on. It's this kind of moment where they want to, but can't. Or, for example, someone comes in, you just ask a question, and they already start crying because their block now is being revealed. So it's usually noticeable.
Well, indeed, yes. If someone is uncomfortable orgasming in front of a large audience, is there a personal option?
A personal session. If it's uncomfortable, don't orgasm. No one is forcing anyone. The principle here is the person does it themselves. It's not like I'm doing something to the person, like urging them to orgasm faster or asking why they're not crying. Come on, quickly, everything is paid for. No. It happens in such a way that the person themselves also wants to achieve what they came for, what their requests are. And if they're shy, we go to a personal session.
Just when you watch these video clips where people are shaking or shouting or screaming, it feels like it's happening to them, but they have no control over it. And they're just carried away by it.
At first, they don't control it at first. It's surprising. He says, wow, what's happening to me? It's like I'm here, but my body is shaking. And at this moment, it gradually fades away. Then comes acceptance. There is such a concept as awareness, right? The body still becomes aware, the brain releases control, and it says, interesting, interesting, what will happen next? And at this moment, it becomes more structured, more whole. He realizes, wow, what an amazing and beautiful body I have, it turns out. There are so many amazing things about it, it can reveal itself so wonderfully. This concept, yes, it gives a sense of, wholeness, I would say.
Hello, everyone who is seeing me for the first time. My name is Marina Mary Jane. I am a blogger, a hypnologist, and I am also known as the singer Marina MJ. I am the author of the book The Bubble Theory. I have a cosmetics brand called MJ Hypno Cosmetics, and I'm also the founder of the subscription club Flow. This is a community for people who are interested in esotericism, psychology, and for professionals in helping professions. Be sure to join my community because we have live meetings and live broadcasts there. There I conduct analyses and explain how to sell. Producers speak there, sharing how to launch projects worth 100 million in the psychology and esotericism niche. Additionally, strong specialists in esoteric fields give talks about the energy of the year, discuss past trends and what awaits us all. In general, if you're interested in the topic of esotericism, and if you weren't, you wouldn't be here, definitely join the bot linked in the description of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my club. Don't forget to subscribe to my social media, and let's continue watching. I completely understand what you're saying. I remember very well how I once attended a session in Peru during a retreat. So basically, I had a very vivid realization there that what I refer to as I is not, well, what the author means. That is, it's something fragmented. And I had this kind of insight that I have a very cool, wise soul, a strong mind, and a great, healthy body. And the problem is just that they are like the crayfish, pike, and swan. Each has its own plans for life. The body loves certain partners. The libido craves extreme sensations, while the mind wants a calm, cozy home, so to speak. The soul might not want any relationships at all. So it's like this in every sphere. The body wants one thing, the mind another, and the soul something else. Can it be said that your training at least acquaints these substances with each other's interests?
Well, that's the essence. Yes, for them to be heard. We usually live by external circumstances. We live for someone, for something, for children, for business, for clients, and so on. But few live directly for themselves. This realization, yes, it usually comes when people come with requests, saying that I've achieved something, I have money, a car, children, I have everything, but I don't feel the joy of life. And what is it, right? The joy in life is in accepting yourself, in feeling yourself. The sensation of your body is the most important thing. We have no other options for living than through the body, than experiencing through the body. We have our avatar. Thankful that it exists, we can then experience it. And when you truly learn to accept with your mind that, yes, I have a body, then a certain connection occurs, right, between the mind and the body, allowing you to acknowledge that they work and live differently. They have different configurations, different firmware, different neurons. And after that, life becomes logical, the path becomes logical because essentially, where is the soul located? Somewhere there, somewhere inside. And I even tell some people that the best insight you can have is if you hear your soul even during training. Yes, not just the body, but something even deeper there. Therefore, if you make this connection, as you say in Peru, that you discovered different scenarios, and suddenly, in one moment, everything collapses into one. Cool, we are a unified whole. We can now live differently. Enjoy every moment. That's the whole point.
Can you reprogram your body like the brain? For example, when it comes to relationships, I often say that we all want healthy relationships, a good partner who cares, loves, and so on. But for many, their libido is drawn to different things like abuse, neglect, some adrenaline-fueled stories, something else. Is it possible to negotiate with your body through such training so that it loves what the brain wants?
Yes, right. The body, first of all, essentially always shows the truth. Many know that there are many interesting therapy directions, kinesiology, osteopathy, and so on, where they ask the body, like raising a hand. And really, do you want this? No, the hand shows otherwise, and so on. These actions, when the body forbids itself something, why does it forbid it? Fear programs, yes, they are hidden in our body. They say it's unsafe. I won't go there. I won't do it like that. No, I won't move. I won't orgasm because it's forbidden, dangerous. What if someone judges you and so on? And it turns out that there is a reprogramming of neural connections, meaning the old ones break, well, as if the fear naturally goes away. I say this, like capsules become empty in the place where the fear was, and it must be filled with something. The fear is gone, removed, and then we fill it with a certain delicious acceptance of ourselves. And then the body begins to sparkle with crystals. It starts to enjoy life and becomes more flexible, more sensitive. Sensitivity increases more, it goes beyond the body. Many people are insensitive due to fear. They don't understand, they can't feel the space, nothing. And you navigate better in space through the body. We remove these old programs, instill new ones, show how to live, and then it vibrates completely differently.
So this can be re-educated, and even libido can be re-educated. So you can actually start wanting a different category of people, right? Healthy relationships, so that healthy relationships are established.
Anyone or anything can be programmed, because the first intention of a person must be pure and sincere. I want to. Yes, For many girls, the most popular request I get is, I can do it myself, but not with a man. That is sexual attraction, orgasmic ability, yes. This refers to orgasm, meaning I can achieve it myself. But when a man appears, there's either a block or it's not the same. There's no such fullness. Orgasmic ability is achieved through tension, but we must first accumulate it for it to be present, right? And secondly, release it in the form of a voice, because there's a prohibition, it's not allowed. You have to do it quietly. Because what if someone says something? And at this moment, of course, we increase in practices, giving ourselves the opportunity. Well, I say, ladies, say A, all together on 3, lie down. Never had the opportunity before, now you can. We say A, everyone learns to even say A, to release it through the throat with sound. And after that, something different happens.
Well, probably when you learn to say A there in training, then it's probably easier in life, right? To conduct interviews, perform, express yourself, so to speak.
I was surprised that million-follower bloggers came for self-expression. Well, you have a million-strong audience because the self-expression is not pure, not genuine. That is, what happens there is not what you really want to express in reality. It's done for something, from someone. And most importantly, the blog doesn't grow beyond a certain level. Why? Because there are no genuine emotions, and the person seems to know how to talk, right? But when we talk about expression, it goes through all channels completely, and it is specifically energetic. It's not just the mouth saying something, you know, by template or by a prompter, but because it comes from the soul. And it's precisely this moment when the energy flows from below through all the chakras and exits through the mouth, right? Then goes back, I don't know, to the client, the potential one, and loops back. Such whirlpools simply amplify this flow, which allows people to increase, well, including financially, their expression first and foremost.
Uploaded.
Insight, yes, I see, caught it.
Well, that uploaded.
Was it possible? It was possible.
So I was curious, yes, that it turns out there is true manifestation and there is imaginary manifestation. So if a person has a large audience, it doesn't necessarily mean they are saying what they want to say. As someone who also broadcasts certain meanings and thoughts, I agree with this. Sometimes it's easy, like what I see, I sing, and then everything goes perfectly. And sometimes there are stories that seem like you can't talk about them, but it's exactly what you want to talk about. And then such a closure happens. For example, when I was going through a divorce, I wanted to talk about it the most, to experience it, to share it. But it seems like you can't talk about it because it was, well, I don't know. It's unclear whose boundaries it might cross, how it will be perceived, how I will look in it, how others will look in it. And it turns out like this.
Yes, and you're stuck.
Yes, and you're stuck. It seems like I want to talk. I love to. I always want to say something, but what is truly important kind of gets suppressed.
Well, the most important thing is to be honest with yourself. That's basically the most important thing. The audience, if it's the kind that won't accept you, will fall away anyway, but another one will appear. Just there's an element of burnout. You perfectly understand that when you already want something different, the moment of transformation has come. And what to do now and how to do it. You're tired of lying. You want to be honest with yourself. And if you are honest, yes, and the audience that resonates with that also comes along. And so the whole point is to continue living in peace so you don't have a lump in your throat feeling like you're doing something wrong or leaving things unfinished.
But still, Vadim, there are things you want to talk about, but you really can't talk about. I don't know, maybe it's not allowed to talk about it on a legislative level, but can you channel this energy through the body to revive the flow? Or do you absolutely have to voice it?
Well, what does the block prevent? It prevents if any sincerity and, let's say, lack of clarity doesn't manifest. It might show up elsewhere. So it's not necessary to say it on this broadcast. You might want to say it, but you can't. Well, say it somewhere else. That's all.
That's the point of therapy, basically.
Express it on another channel, if you want. You have other, I don't know, as always, there's a more niche audience of some kind, right? So not going on national television, but nevertheless, you'll be honest with them and you'll express it, not keeping it inside. That's the most important thing.
It turns out But there's also another moment when a person realizes that there are some things I haven't said, somewhere I didn't confess my love, somewhere I didn't admit my hatred, and somewhere there, I didn't tell an adult everything I think. And there it is, stuck there, tick, 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 tick.
What you didn't finish saying, why? Some kind of fear?
Well, yes. Fear of authority, fear of judgment, fear of various rejections. And sometimes it happens that people don't even realize that they haven't said something, or they even lie about it, or they truly believe in the illusion that they say everything they think, that they are completely open, that everything is fine with them, and they have no blocks.
Well, a lot of people live in that illusion. When you delve into the body, it itself shows you something, some images, your lies, and you realize that you actually left something unsaid. And it turns out you have many fears. It seems like, as some of my female clients say, I came to open up my sensitivity. I want to experience orgasms. I say, well, okay, lie down. Let's start the practice. I begin working through her energy centers. And suddenly she starts screaming, shouting, crying. So at the end of the session, I say, well, you have so many blocks that you need to work through them first and then move on to the orgasm. Sorry, it's not always possible to experience pleasure when you have a huge amount of fears inside, well, different prohibitions. Sometimes you don't even know what's inside you. And these are the very limitations that you set for yourself. They are considered a normal life for you, and you live absolutely calmly. But simply when you remove them, it somehow happens that you have more pleasant people around you. The people who were standing next to you, as I tell some, you can't, find your love because you simply don't see it. A person is standing next to you, yes, and is sending you love, but you don't see it because you have your own truth. And at this moment, the limitation is lifted. It's as if a veil is lifted from your eyes and you start to see more. Therefore, living in this paradigm with these various rejections is normal. But at some point, an understanding comes to your mind. I don't want to live like this, and that there's some kind of deception. That's exactly when you should come to me so that we can sort it out and uncover your body blocks.
All right, here's a point. What if I don't want to get rid of my blocks because they are a supporting structure? Well, that's the feeling I have. I'm not speaking about myself personally, but...
Can I swear?
Of course.
Yes. As they say, it will be a mess, right? So...
Well, yes, who knows? I might remove some of my... I heard from a blogger, a very famous one, I don't want to get rid of my achievement trauma because I stopped earning. She earns very well, and she understands that she is doing it on trauma.
Don't
rid of it.
Don't get rid of it. And who is here? In principle, it's about intention. If nothing will be revealed, if you don't want to go there, it works. I tell everyone, 70% of the work responsibility is the partner's, not mine. I am a guide.
Partner, that client.
On the client, yes. On the client, because they are the one working. They either open up or not. They don't wait. I explain, don't expect some kind of massage from me, right? Don't expect something like that, as some do, right? I think that there will be something very meditative here, right? I say, let's remove all judgments and just catch the sensations in your body. And exactly to the extent that the person wants to go into this story. Yes, meaning they say, I want to be clean, I want to change. They go. If they don't want to, they don't have to. They won't come to my sessions. Well, because it's not the right time.
Well, that's familiar to me. It's like with hypnosis, right? I mean, you can't say, hypnotize my drunk husband. It has to be his decision, his intention.
Yes.
So here, you can't say put into a hypnotic state my wife, squeeze my wife in any way so that she orgasms.
Runs around.
So she has to come herself, want it. If she doesn't need it, then you are like a unit and not gunpowder.
It won't work. It won't work. There are many prohibitions. Situations can be different. There can be physical, medical indications, sometimes violence. I'm working with a girl, a young woman. It seems like, the reason why she doesn't feel, there's no sensitivity or orgasmic ability. And then the subconscious is revealed. When she was 4 years old, she was raped. Someone like a stepbrother raped her, and so on. That is, they don't remember. The subconscious erased everything, all those moments.
When such moments are remembered, how safe is this situation?
Well, it is always safe for the person, because at some point, the feeling came that I want to get rid of this. And therefore, it is a safe environment. I create it initially, and the person feels that they can open up, and everything that happens specifically for that person. not for me. I explain to everyone, I don't take someone else's energy. I don't give away my energy. There is no energy exchange between us. I simply act as a conduit to allow them to feel their own energy. That's all.
But indeed, there might be such a moment. Perhaps some might be stopped by the fear of re-traumatization. Like if a person comes and suddenly remembers some nightmare about a cousin with whom you actually interact, sit at the family table, and then something like this gets unlocked. It's frightening to face such a moment.
And then to leave the training or personal session in a state where you don't feel like living.
Well, yes.
No, that can't happen.
Why?
Because at that moment, I specifically structured my sessions so that the person also receives something very important, a pleasant experience for themselves. He not only brings out this trauma and experiences it, he must definitely receive that bright, energetic link into his body, which spreads like sparks throughout the body. And he understands that there is something higher within his body, right? From the creators, from some kind of energetic field with which he can live wonderfully. This is called smoothing out this traumatic experience so that the person leaves with resources. And when the desire arises, he can simply go to sleep and uncover deeper layers. But he always remembers that there is a positive resource so as not to delve too deeply into it, not to bury himself and then resort to antidepressants.
Yes, it's important this story is somehow covered.
Absolutely. It's essential for a person to feel that besides the evil he has driven into himself in the form of fears, there is a huge source of good and it is around us. So that he accepts it, feels it, senses it, and most importantly, experiences it physically and allows it to enter his body safely and spread using it. This is a very important point.
Vadim, let's take a simple everyday example. Besides the fact that sensitivity will be revealed, what are the real life benefits of body therapy? For instance, let's say I'm a woman actively searching, looking for my other half. How can it help me if I experience orgasms at your training? Maybe, on the contrary, I'll fulfill this need and then won't look for anyone.
Why need a man if I can do it myself?
Yes, especially if I learn at your training, I'll go monthly to experience orgasms. I look husband.
You'll become dependent and pay money. Great.
Well, yes, that's the scheme.
That's not the case.
That's how it works.
That's not the case. I tell everyone this, and my marketer constantly scolds me because I tell everyone that, guys, you need to learn to work and feel for yourselves the people you want to attract into your life and not be dependent on constantly attending any trainings. Therefore, I provide working instruments and tools and effective techniques, but the whole point is to develop your sensitivity and awareness, which goes beyond your own body and extends to the branches of probabilities. That is either to material things, yes, or to whole people that they want to attract into their life. In other words, the point is that the person and what surrounds them can provide them with benefits. If he receives money, if he receives people and love, he takes it as energy, processes it through himself, amplifies it with benefits, and accordingly grows himself. His emotional background, his awareness increases through the consumption of various types of energies, people, and so on. If a person does something entirely on their own and is independent, they cannot fully experience this. We are social beings, and I explain this to everyone.
In the universe, there is a space of multiple possibilities. What you consider yourself to be is surfing through realities. So returning to your question, I want a husband, I go to your training, I opened up my sensitivity. What happened? I became more noticeable.
More sensitive, exactly.
So now it's like it works like pheromone perfumes, right?
You nail.
Really? You came to a cafe and all the men were amazed. They felt it.
Well, your vibration increased. You're sitting at the table, drinking your pina colada or whatever, your sex on the beach. And what happens? The vibrations coming from you are such that as I walk by, wow, incredible. I want, why? I don't know. It's not about the eyes here.
Because I was at Vadim Borisov's training. So in general, I understood. That is, when this sensitivity is developed, it's not only that I become more sensitive, but people are more sensitive to me, right?
Yes, your gaze is different. Some of us take photos specifically before and after the training. This feature started some kind of flash mob. People actually take photos and their eyes become so deep, sparkling, they become very, very bright. And even if you surely know the power of magnetism, looking at any gaze. You either want to leave or, on the contrary, wow, it's interesting. Such depth, such purity, such light, that you just want to look at this person more and more. At that moment, yes, when we just remove some blinders from our eyes and simply want to be with this person.
But I think, yes, everyone has had the experience of interacting with such a person, someone you truly want to be around, as they say, in their presence. They are somehow pleasant. So can this be done? Can it be developed?
You need to develop your socialization, take the treats from life. There are so many. There are many delightful, amazing people. Be able to use money, to earn this money, and therefore the requests that I address for people in these practices can involve financial expansion, yes, finding new love, yes, and finding a new job, well, anything at all. Moving somewhere, relocating to another country, even having children, because some people come and have been struggling for several years. We also explore this topic, pregnancy.
The topic of money is interesting. Well, money manifestation probably will be related too. I've noticed that if I broadcast to a larger audience than I'm used to, I start to literally shake, like my mouth trembles. This kind of tremor kicks in.
It's your energy conduct.
Is the conductivity limited or is it running out?
It's a limited setup, yes. Your field isn't developed for a large audience. There are those who can easily handle thousands of people. You just need to build up. It's easy. It's about internal tuning with techniques and states.
Does the gym help with this?
It helps, but not much. It helps. Any physical exercise will build up your field. It's great, but it's not enough.
I just know that wealthy people often do sports for this reason. Well, besides health, beauty, and so on. In this way, they also develop this conductivity.
Absolutely. Any actions, in principle, yes, of a physical nature, any intellectual games and so on, any activity, yes, it basically allows the field to expand. But if you also apply special techniques, yes, for expanding the field, then it is immediately felt in practice. People notice, like they saw his field boundary was 1 meter, but they realize it has expanded to 10 meters, they can already feel it. And you understand that when you step onto the stage, you just spread your arms and cover everyone with your space. And the audience, they just feel it on the exhale. You feel them. Every person, even the one in the last row, I feel you. You sit down, close your mouth, because I'm speaking, and so on.
Can it be said that the secret to the success of media personalities, performers, particularly singers, is not just having a good voice, but being able to hold a large number of people with them?
If they are specially trained, of course, right? I mean, it's well known that at Joe Dispenza's training, there are about 20 people who specifically hold the field.
Really, not everyone knows. I didn't.
Well, there you go. I'm revealing a secret to you. Because when he comes out, he first stands on a special trampoline. He swings the field. He jumps. I use something similar in my trainings too. Literally about 5 minutes before going out, there's a trampoline in front of the stage. He jumps for about 15 minutes, swings the field physically. Then after that, he comes out and there are people positioned at all corners holding the field because it's very difficult for one person to manage 1,000 people.
And what does that look like?
I see you're surprised.
Yes. Do people just stand in corners not moving?
But it's not necessary to stop your fingers and hands because at first we do all this physically, damn it. At first we touch feel some kind of tactility. Right. Then after that, let's say I hold your finger. You feel my finger?
Yes.
Now what do? I will now remove my finger and you will still feel it. 1, 2, 3, I remove it.
Well, yes, it's still there for a while.
It's there for a while. If you pay more attention to it, you'll feel it even more. So it's a matter of intention, the power of thought. At first, of course, we do it physically. Then later on, I can do something with my hands. Just like that, yes. And then a girl is having an orgasm for content, and naturally I'm doing everything with my hands because otherwise people won't understand. And even then, they don't understand. So when you do something remotely and someone over there is doing something, right? Exactly, but In reality, I'm doing it from here. I can remove my hand, stand up, and everything will continue there.
Because you're holding the field there?
Well, because I'm working there.
Uh-huh.
Seeing you, but I'm already working with you. I'm speaking in general.
I understand. All right, I'll let you know. Interestingly, I've heard from healers that they work in the same way, that they are forced to do this waving of hands for people, but in reality, healing work can be done even from another room. It's done mentally and with intention. Their spines are adjusted, things like that. So some energetic things are done more like this.
Everything is possible.
But it's important for people to see the process for comfort. So you also need to...
That's why I start with contact techniques. I say, here we touch, then we move on to non-contact techniques after the first module course. We go to the second module, and then we look at non-contact methods. And for people, depending on the country where I do this, specific content is also introduced, where only, for example, contact techniques are used. But we know that in the quantum world, there is no concept of time, no concept of distance. So I can open my laptop and work with New York, though 10,000 kilometers away. What else? A 10-hour difference, and so on, right? And yet, at that moment, when I do something with my hand, the person feels it. There is no concept. Of all this space, we work in the moment.
All right, let's get a bit more grounded. We drifted off. Let's talk about money again. Besides the fact that if I enhance my sensitivity and develop my field, I will be able to physically handle more people, larger amounts. More people will see me, more will buy, and I'll earn more. How else can you work with money through body practices?
I always tell, if there's a request for money, you need to look at the energy conductivity of your body for E, this specific flow. Energy of money, well, everything is energy, right? So some people have an energy conductivity of 100,000 rubles a month and can't handle more. That's it. And for others, 5 million is the limit. Oh, so how? How is that? How can this be, right? So we are essentially creating body movement with our request, because the body generates energy for us to earn money, right? We also say something, including we need more clients, and sometimes the mouth doesn't speak. We want to say something, but our lips don't move, because it's hard for us to express our desire in that I want something. So, and at this moment, when the energy flows, it simply expands your space. You start getting some thoughts, ideas that I can do this. The body begins to vibrate towards a specific source of money, and money starts coming in response to your request. Whatever request you came to the practice with, that's what you get.
Well, I see.
That's all.
So it's like with pheromones, but instead of attracting men, it works like on money.
Your favorite, like pheromones?
I'm translating it into human terms.
Human terms. Just drop something and suddenly you have a lot of people around you.
You know, it's just, I've been doing podcasts for a long time, and twice channels that are not at all about this have made exposés on me. Well, not at all. I read these thousands of comments from people who, are seeing the word esotericism for the first time. And for them, anything esoteric is akin to a fortune teller with a black candle doing something. And I started to understand how they think. And now I'm interested in asking questions from that world, to be like a translator. So,
okay.
I want to explain to as many people as possible how it works and why.
Energy exists. Come to the practices, feel it. Everyone creates a safe, supportive, and welcoming environment for you to open up, so that you need to think less and do more. If you want to see how things work in this world, just desire something for yourself, and you will get it.
Well, that's also a good remark. Do more, think less. Regarding money, it's also a common expression. So if you want more money, go work more, and you'll have more money. Right? Yes? Why do you have to go? What are these roundabout ways? Going to Vadim Borisov to have some kind of orgasm, then looking for clients. Why not just go look for clients right away?
First of all, I want to return to the main Taoist philosophy, which is thought, word, action.
Okay.
It means that we shouldn't just think about something while lying on the couch, dreaming of millions. We must definitely articulate it, we must write it down, we must manifest it, and then do something. This is the action. You take, for example, we cannot act immediately without thoughts and words. That is, these stages cannot be skipped, because they logically transition into each other. Exactly. And they are born sequentially so that you have the completeness and resources to carry them out. For your intention, time must pass for the space to rearrange and give you what you want. Therefore, of course, you must definitely take action first. But do it in such a way that you follow the right path and don't waste money on what you felt. That's why you need to attend training, to open your sensitivity to the flow. Where do we go? To the right or to the left? No, not right. Where will we lose our heads and where will we earn $1 million? And it's in these moments that we need to make decisions. I even had such a practical exercise. We took an apple, 2 apples, one rotten, decayed, and the other fresh, real. We covered them with saucers and sensed how to choose where each apple was located. We opened them, sending different sensitivities. Some used clairvoyance, some from consciousness, different things were opened. And then, in fact, 99% of the people guessed correctly. Why is this necessary? To reveal the rotten, to distinguish a person, yes, from a real person, from the path. That's the whole point. Not just to do something, but to do it right from the start. That's why we pay people to show us how it's done.
Are there any favorite client stories? Maybe they share how they attended the training, what changed for them physically, the results they achieved. I understand there are many students.
Physically? You mean they immediately started having orgasms?
No, well, you never know. I don't know. Something measurable in general.
Breasts grew.
Breasts grew, money increased or more.
Well, breasts did grow.
Even breasts grew?
Yes.
Seriously? How is that even possible?
I don't know how it's possible.
Maybe she came at 13 years old, so they grew.
With intention, you somehow want more, and you send the intention, and everything grows.
Cool. Actually, with intention, when I didn't yet know how it works, I pulled in my cheeks. That's why it works. But I still didn't understand how it happened.
You see, it's the power of intention. It's very, yes, powerful.
I was very chubby-cheeked, and they teased me, calling me a koklushka and so on, even though I'm Belarusian. Well, just like that. I don't know if I can say such words here, but basically, just because I was chubby-cheeked, they always joked. I thought, how I want cheekbones. It seems that from such a strong desire, they sunk in.
Yes, but I want to answer your question as well. I remember I have many cases, and now I recalled, yes, such a moment. A girl was at a group training, and the next day she came to me for a personal session. As a rule, I don't immediately collect feedback from everyone unless the person writes it themselves. That's it. And in general, people are shy to give any feedback. And since the girl came to me the next day for a scheduled personal session, she came and said, I lost 5 kilograms. I said, no way. I said, I swear. She was all trembling. She said, how can you lose 5 kilograms in one day? I don't know. I said, I weighed myself. I said, 5 kilos. I weigh myself every day.
But what's right?
Lost 5 kilograms. The water left the body. 5 kilograms in one day. Here. I am, after that, asked my assistant. I said, let's have you ask what has changed for people.
Okay, and then did the water not come back?
No, it didn't come back.
Is it a block?
No, some block was released and that's it. And it was holding on because our physical state is very much dependent on blocks, on the resources we have.
Well, yes, my friend, by the way, also talked about body immunotherapy. She always had a belly. No matter how much weight she lost, her tummy would hang, no matter what she did with it, no matter how much she exercised or breathed, no matter what she tried. And then she found a good body therapist. Maybe it was you, I don't know.
Of course.
But I know it was body therapy, and even the belly went down to the abs through water, literally 4 kilograms overnight. There was just some kind of program hanging there, dangling.
When you want to live, right, that cortisol belly just disappears. You get a thrill from life. And when you get a thrill from life, you don't need to overeat, first of all, with something unnecessary to get pleasure from life. It's enough for you to see flowers everywhere around, people who smile at you, and that's it. And you live, come to Bali, we have a retreat in Bali, that's what we do there. There was one moment, it was during the master's course in Bali. I asked one of the participants to share their impression and what changed in just one night. We had a 3-day training, and he said that he trades gold, and someone bought bars from him, specifically gold bars. And he completed a deal that he couldn't finalize for years, worth $1 million. He sold the bars. Well, for those who haven't held it, it's a lot. It's a lot. And of course, well, okay, fine. And what do I get from this? Nothing. Because I work as a facilitator, giving others the opportunity to earn. And so there was another case with a house the client also shared. The next day, she said that the house, which had been on sale for a long time, also had a deal completed, and it smoothly went through to realization.
So it turns out that she became more noticeable in the field. People saw this advertisement, and what had been hanging in the air finally happened.
Well, apparently, in order for the person to move on to their new realization, they needed money. They receive it, then go somewhere, fly away, and enjoy life. It's amazing. Everything magically falls into place. I just accept it now. Well, okay, it doesn't surprise me. But
have you always been a body therapist? In general, where did you come from? From what activity or field did you enter this?
You know, I've been healing people since I was 18. I didn't know what it was. I would just place my hands on a person and they would feel better. That's it. But over the last 25 years, not the last, but there was a period of 25 years when I was focused on family and children. I have 3 children. They live in Dubai. So I realized after the divorce that there had to be something new in my life. A lot has happened. I started to remember myself, yes, who I was, what excited me in life, what I enjoyed. I realized that what I was doing at 18, when I was 18 years old, should now be for everyone. I just started paying more attention to it, observing. I learned body therapy at that time. But again, I'm not doing what I studied. I just took my skills, which it turns out have been within me for a long time. I just started to bring them to life now.
You have something from a past life.
I don't know. Everyone says that I was someone, a healer. Okay, fine.
In fact, there are many people with abilities who just don't know how to talk about it openly, so they cover it up.
Come to me, I will reveal your abilities.
Oh, people.
In our course, we always have a lot of seers, clairvoyants, shamans, and so on.
Well, yes, those who are not interested in this at all will never come across this video. And if you did come across it, subscribe. These are 2 different areas of your activity: removing blocks and working specifically with orgasmicity.
The tool is one, the Neurowave, which is essentially empty, but we shape it with our intention, and it reveals. It also gives a person the opportunity to immerse themselves in an internal state. And what's in there? That's something no one knows. Therefore, the tool allows for the removal of blocks, among other things, and also for filling up, because we send the intention for orgasmicity. It gives the opportunity to feel more of the joy of life through one's body. And so it turns out that in one training session, people both remove blocks and, among other things, increase their sensitivity.
But as I understand it, there are a lot of reviews in the field of sex. When I attended such body-oriented trainings, in principle, many came with the request to become better at sex, to open up there.
That happens, but it turns out that's not the true intention. That is, they say, yes, I want to be more sexual. It turns out that the true intention is to find their beloved.
Ah, well, yes, or to find a beloved. Not exactly to be better at sex, but to enjoy sex, because many engage in it without any pleasant sensations.
Yes.
This, as I know, is one of the good tools.
One of the good tools. There are such requests for increasing sexuality, orgasmic capacity, sensitivity. I call it the single key to everything.
Well, overall, I think we managed to understand how a Neurowave affects an ordinary, called simple mortal life. Thank you for sharing your cases and knowledge. For everything else, come to the training. I am grateful to you for this podcast.
Thank you, Marina, for inviting me. I resonated with your approach, your presentation, and I really see, yes, that your subscribers, your followers, truly hold you in high regard. I want to be one of those individuals who will reveal you and show them the way even more.
Yes, that's true. I have a really great audience. Thank you all very much for watching. If you have attended similar trainings, please leave comments. Moreover, what has changed for you? How did it go for you? If you didn't like it, then you know where to correct this experience. If you liked it, write what it brought you, because the topic is controversial and a lot is being written. Let's enlighten the population together. And thank you very much once again.
Thank you.